What's going on, guys? David here again. Talk to you about some Arcade 1up news. This comes from Unqualified Critics. He's the one that posted about it, and I saw it for, so I want to give him a credit and a shout out. And I'll try to remember to link his page down below. If you haven't checked him out, check him out. He is way better at me at bringing information about all arcade stuff, pinball, Arcade 1up, all the good stuff. So check him out below. But he brought in today talking about the new Outrun. Might have been leaked, the cabinet might have been leaked of the design, and I kind of want to talk about it and give my 2 cents, because there's some things he saw I agree with, some things I don't know so much about, but I'll go ahead and I'll post a picture up too so y'all can see it and see what it looks like yourselves. This is coming from a weird website, and I'll link it down below too, from Flit It, and apparently they sell other Arcade 1up and stuff too. Of course, this is an overseas store or whatever. But they're showing a version of the sit-down Arcade 1up Outrun cabinet that is possibly coming out, if you will. And looking at it, I want to say I don't think this is going to be the final design, or let's just say I hope not. Of course, it looks a lot like a Star Wars cabinet, which I kind of expected. The Star Wars sit-down with the bench. That's kind of what I expected they were going to go with. But if you look at the Star Wars one compared to this one, the Star Wars part of the actual cabinet with the game looks taller than this picture. This picture of the one they're showing looks very cramped, and like no American would ever be able to sit in this. We're bigger people. I'm 6'1", 250. There's no way I'm going to fit in this machine comfortably at all. And of course, the way they have it designed, they still have the kick plate in there, so there's nowhere to go with your feet. I know guys who have the Star Wars cabinet, I've heard talk, they actually set their feet on the outside so they can do the yoke and stuff. This one, it doesn't show any pedals on the picture. It still has that kick plate there. There's a black section below it, but even they have the list of games on the kick plate like normal, but they have them raised up, and you can't see anything underneath. And it looks like where your feet might go. Now, you might could rest the tips of your feet in there, but there's no way you're extending your legs out in that. Your shins will hit this plate, and it just won't work. If you have any height to you like I do. Now, maybe it's possible they don't come out with pedals for these, which I think would be a huge miss for Arcade 1up. So I'm hoping that this design is a condensed design. It's more of a Photoshop of what maybe might actually be coming. Hope it's taller, of course, like the normal Star Wars cabinet looks to be. That it's a little more comfortable. And as I expected, they weren't going to come out with a racing seat. I'm hoping maybe down the road they offer well, we always joke about a Ferrari-style cabinet, a Ferrari-style seat, or just a seat. I'm not talking about an actual Ferrari, but just some kind of seat that you can actually sit in versus one of these benches. Now, of course, they're trying to keep the price point down, so that completely makes sense. And of course, kind of like John D talked about on the 1up Weekly podcast, it has 4 games. It's showing 4 games here too. Always subject to change with Arcade 1up. Of course, we're expecting it to be Outrun, Turbo Outrun, and Outrunners. There's a 4th one. People have speculated all over the place. John D didn't confirm which of the other ones it would be, which we expect those 3 to be on it. And the 4th one is the debatable one. He said they had licensing issues to get 5 games on here. So there's 2 other ones. I can't remember, it was Rat Race or Dirt Drift or something. I'm not as familiar with that other game that they were talking about. But one of those 2 extra games that everybody's excited about, at least at the moment, is not going to be on this machine. It's going to be a 4-game machine. And this one, the price, of course, when you look at it, is very expensive. And so Unqualified Critics did the conversion. I think he said it's going to be around $900 US. Now, of course, this website is not American-based. It's overseas, so they have to pay a lot more taxes and shipping and all that to get over there. And talking about us having to pay a $800, $900 price point, or possibly not having to because of the taxes. And he's basically saying something about maybe it being more around that $700, $800 price point. I think I'm quoting that right, but being more expensive than Buck Hunter and all of those. And I don't think so. What I think is going on here is they have to pay these VAT taxes. They have to pay for shipping overseas. I think just between all of that, it adds up. We all know from the Facebook groups and stuff that anything that goes to the UK, even Canada, costs a whole lot more than it does here in the States. Australia, I know they complain a lot about the pricing. It's just shipping and all those extra taxes to get that product to those countries. It's astronomically higher than than being based here in the U.S. So I think this one, the price point is still gonna be in there with Star Wars, and of course we have noticed Arcade 1-Up prices are going up. Hopefully their quality's going up. Licenses might cost them more. They have more future things they want to do, so you need more working capital to keep expanding and doing more, especially adding more employees, more warehousing. All that takes money. And if they're getting better with this stuff, the product's getting better, they might be inching that price point up. So I could easily see this being $600. But I think with these products, if you start getting out of $600, you're either really going to have to bring it, or you're going to start losing the base. Because I think most people, I'm sure that $800 price point is going to be out of a lot of people what they want to pay. Even when I could probably afford an $800 machine, but do I want to pay $800 for this machine? That's the question. Now, $800, if you're going to come with the actual racing seat, the haptic feedback, the jerk of the steering wheel, and all the bells and whistles, lit marquee, all the bells and whistles, bunch of games, blah, 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 it might be worth it. But it would have to be a very good steering wheel. I'm sorry, the sun keeps coming in and out. We just had a hurricane go through here. I live in North Alabama. It just went through, so now the sun's peeking in and out of the clouds. So hopefully the camera's not messing up the brightness on this. But anyway, I want to say John D said something about the price points that he's still sticking around that $550 to $600 mark. They're going to try to keep it in that range. So I fully expect for the States that price point to stay the same. I don't believe this is the final version of how this thing's going to look. I mean, I like that the shape, it looks like the shape's going to be kind of like the old Outrun cabinets. Of course, it's got the bench like the Star Wars done, which is kind of what I expected they would do. I just hope it's taller. I hope that the picture seems condensed, seems small, doesn't seem like the real life size of even with the Star Wars, what the sit down look like. So I think that's going to be raised up. And I know John D's from, I'm sure they're going to be, that kick plate's going to have to be removed. They're going to have to be able to put the pedals inside or something if they do the pedals. And that's right. I'm not saying this isn't some kind of good rendition of it, but I don't think this is the final version. I don't think this is what we're going to see. I don't think we're going to see a $900 price point for it either. It's going to have to stay under $600 for people to want it. As many people are complaining about pinball being more than $600. They didn't even like that it was $550. So that's kind of their sweet spot, is that $500 to $600 range. So they got to do what they can to keep it in that price point. So I think that's going to happen. I'm thinking high end will be $599, and I'm hoping that's not. Well, like I said, I guess that part of the picture is really irritating me. I don't think this is 100% accurate. It's going to be taller than that. Star Wars is taller than that. If they're going to do pedals, they're going to have to remove the kick plate. They're not going to be able to have the names there because your shins are going to hit it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe with it being taller, like the Star Wars machine, maybe you can do kind of a half kick plate and be just fine, and your legs can fit under it. Or shrink down the bench seat a little bit, or you're like in a low rider. You're a little lower, but your legs are going to go out further if you do that. So I don't know. We'll see. It's one of the first leaked images I've seen of this one. I definitely like the guy that redid Daytona and how he did his machine. Even when you look at his machine compared to this one, you can tell just the basic 3-foot Arcade 1-Up machine is a lot taller. It looked a lot more comfortable, ergonomic. The screen was in front of you where it should be. So, I mean, this is cool and something to talk about, I guess, but I'm hoping that it's definitely better than what they're showing here, at least. But hey, we know Outrun's around the corner. Hasn't been, 100% confirmed. It's like 99.5% confirmed. So we'll see. But hey, tell me what y'all think about it. Like I said, I'm going to flash the picture up here for y'all to see. Let me know what y'all think of it. If y'all see this being the final version, the price point, just any feedback y'all got on it, go ahead and let me know down in the comments below. Hit that thumbs up and that subscribe button. We're going to bring you more. I'm excited about Outrun. This is one of the ones I've been kind of keeping up with, and if you've kept up with the channel between doing my little reviews of other products, I've been talking a lot about Outrun, so I'm excited about it. Like I said, for me, I hope it comes under that $600 price point so I can pick up one. I've got one spot left in my man cave right now. Comfortably, I could fit it, especially a sit down, so I'm excited. Keep it under $600, John, and hopefully that game's taller than that, because that looks really short and cramped, and maybe my daughter could play it, right? But hey, y'all hit that subscribe button. We'll catch y'all on the next one. Out.